Airsoft friends, and welcome to this video today, where today I've got something rather special on the table that I'm excited about. Now I know I get so excited about a lot of things, believe me, just ask my wife. But this one I'm particularly excited about because this feeds into something of a personal interest of mine outside of Airsoft. Before we get into that though, I'm also excited about you hitting that big subscribe button. Press it and make me excited. I'm not going to, you know, be overcome with anything, but I'd really love it if you did press that button. Also, drop a like and let me know in the comments what you think about this video, and also let me know if you like the interest that this feeds into, because I'm quite excited about this interest it feeds into as well. I'm also interested, and very much like my patrons, thank you for supporting the channel every single month. I am actually looking at today the brand new Novritsch SSR77 A1, so it's the more kind of like original classic-y version. And if you are a fan of Red Dwarf, you will know that the security detail on the big Rouge one or the small Rouge one, depending on how you like to talk about it in the series style, they walk around with a short version of the SSR77, of which I can make this pretty much an exact replica, because I've got a short inner barrel I can put into here, and pretty much out the box you can reduce it to make it shorter, because the outer barrel on this unscrews, and then you can just move the flash hider down, which is really quite handy to do. But without further ado, let's just crack out the box and have a bit of a closer look at this, because apparently this is the best out-of-the-box airsoft org you can get your hands on. And YouTube, you listening here and you person reviewing this, these are all toys. These are toy replicas that are toys. They're not real, they're toys. I'm in a safe environment. This is an office purpose-built space for airsoft replicas. Stop turning my videos off, you naughty, naughty boys. So, we have got the standard Novritsch packaging, a nice big picture of the replica on the front of the box, which I do rather like. Novritsch text there, and when we open it up we can see it arrives in a few different pieces. So we've got the main body of the replica here with the integrated 3x sight as well, which is very cool. The real one has a 3x scope built into that bit there as well, but like I said, as this isn't the real one, it's just a toy replica, it's still very nice to see that. Then we get one magazine included in the side here there, and then of course we have got the outer barrel, inner barrel hop unit assembly here like that, and there's also the classic folding grip on there as well, so foldy grippy outy bit just like that. So let's crack all of this out and we can figure out how to put this thing together. I'm not going to actually show you how to put this together because YouTube, for some reason, in all of its like fun deliciousness ideas, feel like it's against the rules just to show the construction and simple things of airsoft replicas. And that also includes just putting on like muzzle devices and flash hiders, and you know, maybe even inserting a magazine is a bit naughty, so I'm going to put the magazine in off camera, and hopefully we'll learn if YouTube is appreciative of the fact that I didn't show you how to do that. But just like that, literally, I have now built my SSR77, and doesn't it look cool? This thing does look super sick, and you know, the org is very famous for being like, you know, a futuristic looking replica, and like, you know, when you just stand with it like that, you do look like you're kind of like some future soldier. Of course, there is also the A2 version as well, which does look super jazzy, and I do have one of those on the way to me as well, because that's the one I was supposed to get in the first place, and then I got this one instead, so we need to get the other one in order to have a proper look at it, don't we? But I am happy to take a look at this one for now. So like I said, we have got As I've done this a few times now, I know the most efficient way to get this information to you is to go through the spec list on the website. I know that this looks weird now, and it's because I took the CNC like part of the outer barrel off to shorten it down, because this is how they look like on Red Dwarf, because they run it in like the short format. And also, even with the shorter barrel, the short inner barrel version of this is longer than the SSR4's like standard length barrel. So this thing has huge potential for dual creep, and also it means you can keep it super stubby still while having a really long barrel internally. Like, even if you left like the long barrel in and you put that back on, or you put like a suppressor on that or something like that, like, this is going to give you mad dual creep potential. So for those sights that chrono on 0.2 gram BBs, you can have a lot of fun there. And that's not me endorsing the fact that you should just kind of like build a dual creep machine. This is me talking about the fact that sights just need to modernize a little bit and like chrono on the weight that you're using. There's a fiber reinforced nylon slip-on body, which means that the stock build of this is really, really strong. It doesn't twist or flex at all, which is great, and it just feels super, super solid. There's a programmable electric trigger unit, or ETU, and you can turn like pre-cocking on it and stuff like that, which makes it feel ultra super snappy. But remember to do a little burst of full auto once you finish using the semi-auto function, because otherwise your spring will stay pre-cocked and you may need to get a replacement sooner than you otherwise may want to. There's a CNC hop-up chamber and nozzle with a flat hop AEG bucking, so that should mean that you're going to have really accurate firing with this thing. It comes with a true quick change spring exchange system, which is found in the stock right here. So if I take the top pack off, you can see there's a battery in the way there, but this little screw here, that's where the quick change spring is, so there's no need to drill your nozzle on this replica at all. There's a built-in 3x magnification scope, which is here, and it also kind of doubles as a handle for the replica, which is really cool. Now, this isn't something to write home about, like, it's nice to have, and it certainly functions and does the job. But yeah, it's not the most amazing thing in the world. There are notches on the top of it as well, which you can use for iron sights, which is a nice little touch. And I have seen on their Instagram stories that they've been looking at adding a kind of like accessory to put Picatinny rails on the sides, top and bottom of this scope here, which would make it really easy to mount like a little pistol red dot sight or something on there, keeping it low profile, but also giving you a bit more of a closer range aiming system, which would be nice to have. See-through 180 BB mid-cap magazines. Now, I love the fact that these are see-through because it makes it really easy to see how many BBs you've got left in your magazine. And the fact that these are 180 BB capacity just... yeah, I mean, that's a lot of BBs. Generally, when I run, I've got one in the riff, I've got 3 on my front, and I've got 1 on my side, so that means I'm going to be running around with, like, what, about 900 BBs? Which is plenty of me to sling at people, miss most, and then hit some of them. It has a reinforced steel-based foregrip, which is this thing here, and it's handy, because it just flops in and flops out just like so. Now, I do have, like, a JG or a SEMA org, and it's in the garage, so otherwise I'll get it and show you right now. But I do have one of those, and the grip on it is so wobbly, like genuinely it makes it feel like it's unusable. There is a little bit of move in it, but it's nothing compared to that one, and when you're actually holding it, it does feel really nice and secure. This is easily the best grip I've experienced on an AUG before. I absolutely love the colour of this stock as well. Then you've got like the video library to help you with it, Start Airsoft Corps, and a few other bits of details there. One of them being the rate of fire, which is 23 rounds per second using an 11.1 volt LiPo. This is the battery they recommend as well, by the way, the 1800 like box battery, which, yeah, it's quite a tight fit in the back of the stock, definitely, but it gets in there and it does the job, and I'd like to think this would last you all day for sure. In terms of variants, there's 2 available for this one. There's the 1 dual and then there's the 1.5 dual version. So here in the UK, for most like general gameplays, we'll be using the 1 dual version, and if you're in the UK and you do want to use it as a DMR, you can program it to deactivate the full auto, because the way the trigger works is you've got like a half pull for like semi-auto, and then you pull it all the way for full auto. But it's not like the SSR 90 where you kind of like pull it a little bit. There is like more of a stopper in there, so it's harder for you to go over and go into full auto by accident. But yeah, like I said, you can just program it to not have full auto and then jobs are good. I'm quickly gonna put the outer barrel back on because I don't know when I'm going to get to actually do the tech on this to shorten the outer barrel inner barrel kind of combo, and I don't want to have my inner barrel just sticking out willy-nilly. We're then going to put some batteries in it, and we're going to chrono this mother. So I've got the hop unit set to half hop for a nice little average there, and now I've got BBs in there. You can actually see the run on there quite nicely, and yeah, I really do like the fact that you can just have a quick look to see how many BBs you got left in your mag. So if there's a wave of enemies approaching, you know whether or not you need a new mag in there or not. I will apologise now because in my last video I didn't wear eye protection when I chronoed, but I do have some sunglasses to hand this time, so it's not quite the most perfect eye protection, but they will stop shards getting in, and I think I look pretty darn cool as well. Sarah Connor, get on the chopper! Come with me if you want to play Airsoft! Did the Terminator ever use an AUG? Do not think so. 0.28 gram BBs in the Chrono semi-auto. And we've got a few the same, 267, 260.7, 260.7. And then let's just do whatever we've got left on full auto and see if we've got enough for an RPS measurement. It was kind of jumping between 0.88 and 0.91 on the joules there. It didn't really get closer to or over 1 joule, but I guess that's fine because the website advertises it as 0.9 to 1.1, so you do have a little bit of wiggle room there. And as I always say, it's nicer to be a little bit under than it is to be a little bit over, because we don't want anyone drilling any nozzles on our watch. 0.88 joules is 200, let's say 260 FPS. On the RPS we had 20.8. It does advertise 23 rounds per second, so it's only a tiny bit off that, and still I would say plenty fast enough for you to enjoy spraying plastic down the field. Personally, I feel like it'd be nicer if it was a little bit more higher on the power. When I put the shorter barrel in this thing, I'm probably going to end up losing a bit of power just because there's less distance for the BB to accelerate. So yeah, I may need to compensate for that with a new spring, like put an M105 in there or something similar, which is lucky for me because I do actually have a load of those sat spare ready to go. So I think that we will indeed do that. Oh look, you can see me! There's me right there. You can see me and I can see you. That's cool. If you're going to be using this thing for CQB, making it nice and stubby, which I completely intend to do, then not having like that full 1.14 joule limit on your replica, it's not going to matter because, you know, you're only going to be shooting 30-40 meters and this thing is going to do that perfectly fine for you for sure. Like I said before, there are 2 variants of this. You've got the A1, which is the more standard one, which is what I've got, and there's also the A2, which is hypermonadized and looks incredibly sick. The A2 version is currently on its way to me, which I am very, very happy about, and as soon as that comes, I'll do a little unboxing of that as well, and I'll do a bit of a comparison between those two for you so you can see everything that's the difference between those two rifles. I love the fact it's really easy to convert it into a short version. The fact that you don't have to buy anything extra apart from a shorter inner barrel is absolutely delicious. And I love that the shorter version inner barrel is still longer than the longest version on the SSR4. So you've got so much kind of like range performance built into that. And I know there's going to be people saying that barrel length doesn't matter for range, but if you want to use heavyweight BBs, the longer the barrel, the better for imparting that energy. So look, that's it. Just accept it. Like I said before, the scope, not a huge fan of that. It would be really nice if it came with some like other mounting options by default, but at the same time, this isn't meant to be a fancy like custom one. This is meant to emulate the Steyr AUG, and it does that incredibly well. I definitely want to fancy my A2 up though when it comes. I'm going to put a 3x on it. I'm going to put a pec box on it. I'm going to put some grips on it. I'm going to put some M-lock covers on it. I'm going to go full hog on that thing. And I'd like you to come along with me for the ride. So hit that subscribe button if you don't want to miss that big customization video. And I'd appreciate a like and a subscribe for this video because I literally had to film it like 3-4 times in order to get to this point now. So yeah, please support the pain that I went through to bring you this information, please. And until next time, I will see you in the next one. I love you, stay fresh, look after yourselves, and be good people. Yes, be good people.